All right, for example number 5, we have a picture here of a parasail, and it's telling us that a parasail is 3/100th miles above the water. After 5 minutes, the parasail is 1/50th mile above the water. Find and interpret the change in height of the parasail. So there's actually two things we need to do. First, find it, and then interpret the change in height. When we're finding the change in something, we always want to subtract. For example, if last year I weighed 100 pounds and this year I weighed 150 pounds, my change in weight was 150 minus 100. It would be a change of 50 pounds. And because it went up, it would be an increase of 50 pounds. So the same thing applies here in that the only difference is here we have fractions. So the parasail starts at 3/100ths, and then it is located at 1/50th miles. So I went ahead and wrote this down, so I'm changing my screen, and I'm going to subtract the two. And we know that to subtract fractions, the first thing that we need to do is turn any mixed numbers into improper. We don't have any of that. We're going to go ahead and find a common denominator by saying, can we turn the smaller number into the larger? And yes, here we can by multiplying by 2. So we end up with 3/100 minus 2/100. And you could probably do that right in your head. But you know the rule says keep change when we have subtraction. So we have 3/100ths plus a negative 2/100. We add only those numerators. 3 plus a negative 2 is 1. Signs are different, so you subtract. Keep the sign of the stronger number, which in this case is 3/100. So the change in height was 1/100. When it asks you to interpret, if I come back to the question, the change in height is 1/100, but it does ask us to interpret the change in height. And they're telling me, does it go up or does it go down? And since it started at 3/100 and 5 minutes later was at 2/100, that means the height changed by negative 1/100, or you can write that the parasail fell or decreased 1/100th mile. So because of the interpreting, they want you to say whether it increased or it decreased. So because it started out at 3 and ended at 2, which we didn't know until we found that common denominator, you can tell that it went down.